Hello friends and adventurers, and welcome back to Sally Cat Plays Dust: An Elysian Tale.
With Skiz.
And this episode is a little bit different today because when we recorded it, it didn't properly pick up the microphone audio in addition to the game audio. So we're having to redo all of that in post.
Yeah, we're basically overdubbing.
Now, would you look at this? Seems our village has got itself a new basement.
You don't seem too concerned.
Trust me, not much happens here. So when things start crawling out of the ground, you pull up a chair and enjoy the show.
That is a very Australian sentiment, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Augustine, but promise me that you'll stay here. I don't need anyone getting hurt.
Bah! Let you have all the fun? Well, I guess you're the one with the sword, after all.
Another Australian sentiment.
I mean, Augustine does look like he could wrestle just about anything into submission.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe not anything, but most of the grunt monsters we're facing at any rate.
He's probably annoyed he wasn't named Augustine. So yeah, there's a trial thing we could do here.
There is indeed.
But
and we decide not to do it today.
Yeah, so the issue is there is a hidden item there that we don't have the ability to get. So, totally worth coming another time.
Dude, spoilers.
I think I mentioned that in the original playthrough as well.
You probably did.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of small, not really plot-related spoiler I don't mind having.
Mm-hmm.
End of the line. Looks like a pretty nasty drop.
Yes, very nasty. We should go around, I think.
It's not like Fidget has to
There's
worry
no
about
time
fall
to find
damage.
another route. Those monsters came up through here. There's gotta be a path down below. Well, here goes nothing.
Well, amazingly, in this game, our hero doesn't either. And besides, I don't think it was the fall that was concerning Fidget. I think it was darkness.
Fair point. Also, there is stuff on to the right of that drop that maybe I can get later?
Yeah, you could just circle back around and get that eventually, but it doesn't hurt again to come back another time.
Did you see something move up ahead? I saw something move.
Fidget, you need to calm down. I thought you said you weren't afraid of the dark.
I'm not afraid of the dark. I'm afraid of the things in the dark.
That's a very valid point.
I don't see anything, Fidget.
How could you possibly see anything in here with that big hat over your eyes? I hate caves. Our kind isn't meant to be underground. We should be soaring high in the wide open sky.
I thought you were afraid of heights.
Oh, hush.
Gotcha. They had some fun voice acting with this, like her still having to say all that.
Oh, new enemy type.
What is this?
And new status effect.
You've been poisoned.
When you're poisoned, your life slowly drains down to nothing. If you don't take care of it soon, death is inevitable.
Dun dun dun.
Super dramatic sword.
I can probably just wait it out.
Stop pretending you're so tough. Here, take this mushroom. It'll stop the poison for now. You can thank me later.
Yeah, so you do get mushrooms in your inventory, but that doesn't make you immediately use them. And yeah, they're generally worth using. But yeah, poison damage can sometimes rock you for a lot, sometimes a little.
Oh hey, new chapter. Chapter 2. Darkness.
Imprisoning me. There's an old school Metallica reference for some of y'all.
And we are into the Cirromon Caverns. Or Cirromon, or however you want to pronounce that.
I think it is Cirromon, but I don't think the game characters pronounce it.
Yeah. So do these things have like little miner hats on, or just lights like anglerfish?
I don't know. They seem to have tentacle-y things, so I figured it was sort of like anglerfish. But yeah, it's good to have health items available.
Mm-hmm. Time to use some of those mysterious wall chickens that we've been hoarding.
Yeah. And about, this is where I was suggesting that, having fidget distance attacks is a good idea for these guys.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, though, I could probably say that about most of the game's combat, because my playthroughs were very heavy on fidget attacks.
Right. but it's especially good for things where you don't want to get all up in their face and get poisoned.
Well, it's also like, you know, you spun right here and you got the flame burst going, but then you stop spinning. And extended spins can keep that going even harder.
I'll have to keep that in mind later, or try to.
I mean, you still have the issue that you can overspin and
hurt yourself.
But honestly, it's not usually that big a deal.
It's getting really hard to see. I'm starting to regret coming down here.
I was regretting it minutes ago.
Game gives you a spotlight anyway, though.
Pretty music down here.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, pretty glowing trees.
Oh, wow.
Makes me think of, like, Dr. Seuss pom-pom trees.
Do you think the villagers know about this place?
Our search has not been in vain. Let's clear this area.
And these guys.
Underground caverns with beautiful flora and dangerous, menacing fauna? If any of my regular viewers are watching this place is starting to remind me a little bit of Exile / Avernum.
Any particular region?
More just the caves as a whole.
Okay.
Or Vanatai lands with the funny trees back there.
Yeah. So these enemies I think are called rockhounds, and they have disturbingly human-like teeth in there.
They sure do.
But on the plus side, that does mean that as a new enemy type, they are likely to drop new kinds of items for crafting that you haven't had before. And this is where the RNG of the game comes in. Yeah, hope you get new materials and then you can actually build stuff.
But for the meantime, we're at least getting plenty of gold. And a save point.
Except that it's not really as easily reachable from that side. That side, on the other hand, is not really that bad.
I do not always have expert level mastery of this game's jump physics.
To be fair, if an enemy had still been alive there, you could aerial dust storm up to get there. Because, yay, shortcuts. Also, drums are going sort of hard at the game music here.
Ah, tentacle jerks.
Luckily, they don't do a whole ton of damage to you if you don't get poisoned.
These tentacle jerks aren't the Florns. I don't know what their name is.
No, you do encounter Florins somewhere
Hey,
around
chest.
here. It's so weird for me to see actual, like, arrow keys written on the chest buttons, because in controller they show you the buttons for an Xbox controller, like A, B, X, Y.
Also, I would like to point out that I just got a few warm pretzels. Warm, big pretzel.
Yeah. And it is actually better than chickens. In terms of health restored.
Which is kind of funny when you think of how many calories a chicken would have compared to a pretzel, even a big one. Maybe it's a small chicken?
Well, the game definitely shows you that the things that are more expensive in the shop do heal you more.
Yes. Then again, it is a mysterious wall chicken, so maybe they're a little stale.
So yeah, at this point, I think the idea was to go ahead and get to a shop, because there was a shop that we just sort of overlooked.
Yeah, you noticed it before and I didn't.
I admit, I've played this game through, and I don't have, like, perfect memory of, like, where all the stuff's located.
He's hiding under here.
So, you have slain the one known as Fuse.
So, you have somehow made it down here.
You've progressed the plot. I have more cutscene dialogue for you.
I had no choice. He'd lost his mind, murdered many innocents.
I am not judging, friend. His death was sad, but necessary.
Forgive me for asking, but are you a Moonblood?
Depends who's asking.
The Moonbloods. They are an ancient race, and their presence is not tolerated in these lands.
Also, you can sort of see a
One would
nose.
be at a disadvantage among so many warm-blooded creatures.
One does not want to admit these things to someone one does not trust.
Particularly if there's a general that's, you know, trying to kill them all.
I understand.
I believe you do not, my friend. But I will not press the matter if you do not.
Yeah. I think we have different brightness settings where we're recording this now, so I feel like I'm noticing other graphical details.
Could be. This is on a somewhat smaller monitor, so perhaps the resolution is coming up a bit sharper.
Yeah. But you see that we do have a few more health items. And there's a surprising number of Korean items in the game's library.
Yes, like kimbap, steamed rice rolled up in a sheet of seaweed.
Chadolbagi.
Deadly Delight. Looks much better than it tastes, and it looks pretty terrible.
Yeah. And it does, like, no health.
All it does is cure silence.
And silence isn't particularly one of the more debilitating effects anyway. I'd say that curing poison or burn are much more important. Yeah, because burn can mess you up.
Bun.
Cinnamon buns are good. In this game, I mean.
And yeah, we're just doing a bit more looking at the accessories and realizing that I still have the best things available equipped.
Yeah, some of this also I think is just getting used to the controls for moving through the equip menu stuff.
Yes, because there's two different sets of directional controls. There's the numpad I use for movement, and then the arrow keys are used for movement within the major menu selection.
Yeah. One of the chests I think had given you a brutal augment, but turns out we actually already had something better. The augments, it's usually not at all in doubt what's better than others.
Oh, it's kind of funny to consider what the augments are. Are they just items used for sharpening? Is it a little charm you attach to your sword?
But Store does have a better armor than we are currently equipping.
Light stone vest. An interesting pattern is engraved on this heavy, segmented stone vest. Also, slime mail and stone vest. There are some interesting materials going into armor in this world.
Yeah, we're remarking at this point, though, that the ring selection is still pretty crap. You don't get good rings for a bit. But keys are probably not a bad thing to buy. But in the meantime, we have new materials?
We actually do have one. A squirt bug arm. Okay, so I guess the floaty tentacle jerks are squirt bugs.
I believe so.
Which makes sense if they squirt poison at me.
Yeah. And most new creatures that offer any kind of new material offer two kinds. So you only had gotten one of them in a drop so far.
And hooray, I can buy a few keys.
Particularly in case we get any of the treasure chests that have friends in them.
Also hooray, Garnet is here.
Yep.
Sometimes she likes to join in on my recording sessions.
Your transaction is most appreciated.
Also, yay, getting a little money back.
Watch your back, my friend.
This isn't typically a game where you need, like, backup armor options. Yeah, and the blueprints we have I don't think are any better.
Nah, it's for chainmail and slime mail, which aren't as good as the light stone vest.
Also, I wonder how light it can really be. Like, are you wearing just basically boulder shoulder pads?
I do have an alternate save file that I considered going to for re-recording, instead of just redubbing audio for this one, but it was at a really awkward point. So we're doing this instead. But I brought that up to remark that in my alternate save file, I actually have a different set of blueprints and a few accessories. Because that is somewhat randomized as you play this game, what blueprints will drop.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know if it's randomized, though, from the chest openings.
Chests might have more set materials.
Yeah.
But once in a great while, enemies will drop a blueprint.
Yep. And also, is any of the secret walls, typically the things that you can actually break with your sword, do have different graphical looks. But meanwhile, just trying to figure out how to proceed here. That looks closer to an actual breakable wall, but is not.
And here's a bomb fruit. And here's me starting to figure out what I'm supposed to do with it.
Yep. Because big shaft with a lot of wind in it carries a bomb fruit pretty good. Oh, and hey, more squirt bugs.
And here's another place where I could have used the aerial dust storm to take a shortcut up. But I so rarely think to do that.
Aerial dust storm is pretty darn handy, all things considered. Like, Your basic sword combos can be fine if you've got your attack stat jacked up, but like, Dust Storm in particular comboing with Fidget is a lot of what this game's battle mechanic is about. I jacked up my Fidget levels pretty early in my playthroughs.
Kaboom!
Yep.
Get that chicken!
Did get chicken.
At least I got chicken.
Leroy Jenkins. We exist from the old internet.
This is very true.
And we need another bomb fruit for that wall.
And I've got to go back up to go get it.
Game is fairly generous, though, about, like, having bomb fruits go to your location when you dust storm near them.
Keys! I want them. How do I get them?
There was a really small shaft around where you found the bomb fruit first.
I still need that crouch or whatever ability.
Yep. You are too tall. But in the meantime, we made progress.
Oh, hi.
Dust, wait.
This guy will kick your ass.
This creature is too well defended for a straightforward assault.
Also that.
We'll see about that.
He's made of rock and is wielding rock. What is this?
Okay, that was a bad idea.
And that attack was all cutscene, not me.
It is practically invulnerable unless you stun it with a parry, like so.
Still cutscene, by the way.
He went down!
Dust, would you like a refresher on parrying?
I do, in theory, know how to
Very
parry.
well.
I'm just not
Be
always
careful.
great at pulling it off.
Yeah, but you see how much damage was being done here now. Do have to get another parry going, though, and typically you gotta walk in on this guy to sort of bait the shots. There you go.
There I go.
Yeah. Parry timing's actually fairly generous, because I believe you can hold your attack button down. And if the attack button's down at the moment, the parry goes off. But yeah, I believe those guys are Trolks. And they are big. And they give you new materials as well. So then we get to press onward a bit.
Get back here!
Gabe can get a little slippery sometimes about aiming your sword attacks.
Hello, who's this?
This is an Easter egg. Or blue potato thing.
Blue potato with legs.
I'm not sure, but it sure did run off in a hurry.
Wearing a pretty nice onesie, too.
Follow that potato!
I don't know that you want to, though, if it's a blue potato. Probably not safe to eat.
I didn't say eat the potato, I said follow it.
There's that.
Oh! Might have missed some stuff up top there.
Yeah, but there's a bunch of teeth to beat up here.
Also, I just realized the hit counter covers up my map.
That is true, but if you are beating up stuff well enough, you may not have to worry so much about where you're going.
True.
Also, your attack stats are good enough that basically one sword combo takes care of those guys.
Oh, hello, spider thing.
Yeah, those can poison you.
I think it only had 6 legs instead of 8, though. Ooh, chest.
Yeah, but first take care of some squirt bug eyes.
Ah, he didn't die.
Or squirt bug. There you go. And you know what? Easy way to reach that thing, instead of having to go all the way around. Aerial Dust Storm!
Yes, Skiz pointed out that there was a chest up above, in addition to the one I already saw. And a blueprint for another, newer, shinier type of ring.
Yay, Ring of the Miner.
That sounds good.
And got enough keys to open another one, and get a good pendant, too, it looks like.
And cinnamon buns.
Yeah. Yeah, good lot of cinnamon buns. That's good health right now. But if you wait around, it shows you Halmione Pendant.
Okay.
Something like that. So, we're curious, like, is that better than what we've currently got? And do we have the stuff to build it?
And do I remember which keys to press to get anywhere in the menu?
So, 2,000 gold versus 1,600 gold? Yeah, it's better and looks like it generally has better stats. But, can we build it is the question.
Looks like we're missing some materials.
And it's not clear that we've actually encountered either of those yet. Also sort of ghostly Haley thing through the transceiver for material stuff. It is a fairly interesting mechanic, but it does mean you don't get to see her too much.
It's too bad there's no little dialogues with Haley even through this transceiver crafting.
Oh yeah.
Okay, one of those materials I know we can get from the shops, the other one I don't think I've seen yet.
Yeah, and I believe that is a Trolk finger, like the big rock guys.
I wasn't sure if that was a finger or like a toe.
I believe the material is actually called Trolk finger when you get to it in the shop. But yeah.
So eventually we can do some crafting.
And it also turns out there's a few different rings based on whatever you want to buff up more. So Ring of the Miner gives you more gold. But yeah, nothing else to check out here. We did notice that there is a screen transition to the left, but it is blocked by a wall.
So I think we've got to go back upwards, perhaps.
Yep, but in the meantime we still get the autosave. And nearly sword dashed yourself off that platform. That was a good save. And
that
then
was not.
Oh, manages to still follow you. Also, I think your luck stat does affect critical hit chances. Which can be handy. Also, that guy totally has like a tube coming out.
Nice dodge on the poison. Level up!
Level up is a very Highlander-ish kind of effect. Like, it shakes your screen and all. Yay for dodges.
Yeah, whenever a level up happens, I'm always concerned that I got hit or something. Kaboom!
Yeah, this is a good magic spell compared to what you started the game with.
Oh, it doesn't even have 6 legs, it only has 4.
I mean, if it's rock, is it actually a spider? I don't remember what they're called.
Those ones don't look like they're made of rock, they just look insecty.
Return of the Potato.
Aww, you're adorable.
Wait!
You dropped your mushroom.
Let's follow him.
Unfortunately, not a super one. Wrong game franchise. So yeah, level up time and just sort of what's worth working on. But health does get to be an issue if you don't have too much of it. So defense, we figured sort of armor takes care of more often.
I did just get an armor upgrade pretty recently, so we're thinking health.
Game does give you a lot of XP though, when you notice the scale of the numbers.
I feel like I'm able to enjoy the music a little more this time around.
It's got some good atmospheric stuff in it here.
I'm enjoying blowing up enemies about the same.
Yeah. This song doesn't get on my nerves near as much when you have it looping compared to what you get in like Archer's Pass, which is super epic and all, but if you're hanging out there a while looking for secrets, it can get grating. But yeah, I do believe we have to pass upwards anyway. There is some stuff we could explore down, but it's just as well.
Oof.
So yeah, trying to get parries off. And it's good to remember that you can actually auto-do health things without having to open the menu.
I like that he knocked me back into the save point.
Which does heal you some.
But yes, eventually I remember what my quick heal button is.
But yeah, I think in a lot of these cases, you were generally just attacking too early and not waiting for the signal that they were actually going to do their shot. So as a result, all your tapping of the attack button was done by the time their shot comes.
And yeah, there's a wall over there I cannot climb yet.
Yeah, we'd encountered a wall like that earlier already. Yeah.
Big group of enemies, have a big fireball.
Oh, I was a super fan of fidget spells for those big crawly things. You don't need it as much for these giant collections of rock hounds. But hooray for them dropping cinnamon ones.
Peace.
Yay, more hack and slash.
Ooh, another ring blueprint. Ring of the Scavenger.
And distracted enough by it to get bit. But yeah, Ring of the Scavenger's good. Especially at this point in the game.
Oh, another one of you big guys.
Yeah. So you do have to sort of bait him to attack a bit. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, I would say for future reference, if they sort of rear back, that's a good sign.
And he's not dropping crafting materials, but at least he dropped a diamond?
So, yeah. Not best timing with the spells, but luckily these guys didn't get any poison on you.
Mm-hmm.
Also some rather trippy mushrooms going on in the background.
These guys have quite the bite.
Also fun little sound effect for it.
And I just noticed one of them dropped some teeth, it looks like.
Yep, that is one of the materials. Also, here are Florins. They don't poison you, but they can silence you. And I think you had already been silenced by some point in this playthrough.
Oh yeah, that was a couple episodes ago.
Right. Silence isn't that bad, particularly if you're not already using fidget spells much, but it can be annoying. Particularly if you're trying to use fidget to, like, cover and attack from distances.
Oh, what do you mean that wasn't a one-hit kill?
Well, if you'd kept running your dust storm more often, I think the flames would have stayed longer.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think we were debating whether you could go left, but no, you gotta sort of circle around and up. But you are doing pretty good damage at this point.
Hey, Rockhounds, time to visit the dentist!
I don't know that you want cut gums, though. Ooh, Orby things, and Return to the Potato.
Go away!
Oh, Potato can speak.
Aww. And he dropped some
There
nuts.
he goes.
Lot of nuts.
Forget him! Take a look around! There's something horribly wrong with these mushrooms.
These aren't mushrooms, Fidget. They are called bubble sprouts, and it would be wise for us to tread lightly around them. They react rather explosively to movement.
I'm not entirely sure if they really do react to movement, or if it's more just random timing that has them go.
Ow.
But yeah, the red things can hurt. So, I think at this point you were wondering about whether we could go leftwards from the bottom screen instead. So, took a bit to explore. We'd already hit a save anyway.
And of course enemies respawn.
Yep. Yeah, if you move a screen transition, they do. Oh, and they drop wall chicken when you're not actually at a wall. But yeah.
Oh, I see something. Magical black sheep! And a key!
But yeah, that's a wall we can't break.
I want, how do I get to them?
Not sure you can from that side. Oh, another blueprint.
That looked like another blueprint for Ring of the Miner, I think.
Yes, it was another Ring of the Miner. But yeah, I don't think you generally need to put on 2 unless you really want a boatload of gold. So, yeah, we were sort of debating whether to go kill more guys or head back up the path. And a little bit of fire is usually fun. But that's a silence hit.
Yeah. It looks like I pulled off another combo by mistake that made me suplex an enemy into the ground. Mm-hmm. Well, not suplex, but pile drive.
Yeah, I do believe that if you hit your, I do believe that if you hit the sword thing when you're, like, right up at another enemy in the air, that'll happen. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a certain minimum distance you have to be at. So yeah, we're just going back to the save point where we were.
Mm-hmm. And apparently I have chosen to just ignore some of these guys.
Well, but these guys are fun.
Yeah, they're easy and fun. And drop good loot.
Yeah, and you're super close to a level. Now, these get a little annoying, but there's red ones, and there are blue ones occasionally. Blue ones heal you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not entirely sure if it's worth it, though, to, like, hang around in the hopes that you get a lot of blues.
Not really, they only heal a few points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So these guys can get a little annoying, but your dodge thing does help.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you can jump in front of the bulb itself before the things come
Owie!
out.
But a convenient heal.
Yep.
Oh, I missed that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a big fan of jump, then dust storm, and then do a dodge out of that.
Oh hey, it's the shopkeeper again.
I am here to serve.
With no new dialogue this time. But yeah, doesn't look like he's got new materials available either. But we probably have materials we can sell him that he hasn't seen before. And in fact, yes, the other squirt bug thing.
Squirt bug eye. The eye of a poisonous squirt bug. Hound's teeth.
Yeah, so that's one of the 2 things you get from a rock hound.
Yellowish teeth from a rock hound.
Worth doing.
And hound hide, the thick flaky leather of a rock hound. And also a stone carapace, a piece of shell from a stone cutter.
It's possible that stone cutters are actually the things we've been calling sort of spiders. I'm not entirely sure.
Those are potentially the trolks. I don't know. This game is not great at being clear on what enemy names are.
Yeah, because you don't exactly get a glossary for them. So we were looking around as to whether we actually had the materials to go and build some of the things in our blueprints.
Your transaction is most appreciated.
So if we go into equip, we can take a look at that. Because you can buy the items straight from Haley and not have to do it in the store. But yeah, Ring of the Scavenger is very worthwhile.
And it turns out we already have the stuff to make it.
It just requires junk.
Just a bunch of junk. So yeah, we can buy some of those claws, imp claws, but we don't have any of the trolk fingers or whatever.
Yeah. But in the meantime, we can still have the right number of claws. And it's not too expensive. But Scavenger Ring I was a big fan of because it increases the amount of item drops you get. So in particular, if you're looking for materials, it's a good thing to have.
So of course I slapped that bad boy on.
Yep. 1.5x item drop. Not much of an attack ring.
Some basic buffs, probably about on the level as the smooth and rough rings.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, if you really want to make this go crazy, you get 2 of one of those kinds of rings and you put them both on. Particularly Ring of the Miner. So yeah, we get to proceed onward and attempt some more blue drops, but not always successfully.
Mm-hmm.
More serious business, we're hitting save points pretty close to the flag on the map. There's a tunnel here. And a whole lot of stabby.
And a whole lot of wants to bite me. And a new blueprint for the ornamental pendant.
Which we think is actually worse than what we had.
Yeah.
Also, yay, new level.
There are some games where leveling up will hurt all the enemies on screen. This is not one of them.
No, and I don't even think it heals you either.
But it does look really cool. And I can't get through here! But that is where the sheep is.
And the key.
Sparkly black sheep.
So same issue with that one bomb fruit earlier, too. Yeah, and then you get to slash your way back. And we still haven't used the level yet.
Not that I need it to deal with these guys.
No, not particularly. I don't even think if they bite you, they do all that much damage at this point. It does help that enemies do not automatically do contact damage. This is not Mega Man. There are a few things that do contact damage, but not generally enemies.
Oh no!
There he is! Look, he's in trouble! Ah! Leave me alone!
And he's got a southern accent.
Huh? You will most definitely regret meeting me.
Keep wary of the bubble sprouts, Dust. Or this battle will be over before it begins.
So guess what I don't do a good job at?
Yeah, there's one on each side. And probably the smarter thing to do would have been to, like, try to jump over one of them first. So things get a little hectic.
I'm able to get some healing off.
Yeah. And you've actually poisoned them, which is sort of interesting.
Yeah, I think in this fight the red bubble things will poison.
Yeah, I do believe that's possible. But yeah, this is getting a little ugly, and they don't let you leave the screen with these guys
Yeah,
alive.
I keep getting hit either by the troll or by the bubble things. And I'm dead.
And there goes the revival stone, though.
Oh, I
Forgot
still
I
had
actually
that.
had one.
Okay, one troll down.
Yeah, at least we were close to a save, too.
Oh, got a parry off.
Yeah.
And got smacked by the bubbles.
Yeah, they stayed down for a while. I think my suggestion was you should have let out some spell before going and stabbing. And more issues with parry timing ensue. And we're like, oh my god, will upgrading health actually heal you to full here? And it does heal you, but not by full. I think it heals you by however much you just gained in that level.
And I need more healing food equipped. Because I used all my chicken.
So we're going with buns. Too close for missiles, I'm switching to buns. Anyway, we got it.
Aww.
And there he goes again. You're welcome, kid.
Come now, Dust. He's obviously terrified. Let's go find him. And maybe get out of this raining death.
I agree with getting out of the raining death.
Raining Death sounds like a good metal album.
It kinda does.
And new region. Where they have sheep.
Welcome to the village of Mudpot.
A bit of a step down from the Shire.
It has fluffy sheep.
I didn't think those monsters were smart enough to build a fence.
I'm certain they didn't. Let's hop on over.
They do not let you stab the sheep. Or shear the sheep, even.
I can't even pet the sheep.
Nope.
Sheep.
They are fairly cute.
There he is!
Your father's done gonna have himself a heart attack after he hears about this.
Oh,
you
they're
were-
country bumpkins.
You were right, that is a southern accent.
I'm sorry, Mama.
Goodness, what would I do if you gotten yourself hurt?
Ah! Mama, look! Those things must have followed me!
How'd they jump my fence? Crafty vermin, those surface dwellers.
Beware the wooden spoon of Mama.
Not like you made a particularly tall fence either.
She does see that I can fly, right?
I'll be sure to tell her, Fidget. I'm sure that'll clear things right up.
Back! Back, you beast! I got this here spoon and I ain't afraid to use it!
I love her already.
We aren't here for trouble, ma'am. In fact, we just saved your son.
Huh? What are they talking about, Bopo?
Well, they have been following me for a while.
What? How far out did you go? I may just save the spoon for you.
I'm sorry. We just came down from the surface to...
Do I look like some country bumpkin to you? Of course you're from the surface. I think I'd remember seeing a talking, flying weasel cat thing down here.
I think we got off on the wrong foot here. My name is Dust, and this is Fidget. Some creatures attacked a village above these caves, and we're trying to figure out why.
Attacked a surface village, you say? Well, if that don't beat all. We underground folk tend to keep to ourselves.
Much like the
Got
South.
enough problems of our own already.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Actually, what I'm saying is, we got enough problems of our own without you surface folk bringing all that nonsense down here. So, if you don't mind...
Come on,
Bless
Dust.
your heart.
We're obviously not wanted here.
Wait!
That's enough, Bopo! You ought to get back to your chores before I take out the spoon again!
She really does sound like a hillbilly mom.
Mama, I've seen them fight. They even got themselves a talking sword. I bet they could help.
Just like any 8-year-old, entranced by talking
Young
sword.
man, I don't care if their sword spouts rainbows and bowls of delicious baked beans. I don't want their help.
Stop saying that! Pa's gonna die if we don't do something!
Die? What's going on?
Well, our healing wells have gone and run dry. And my pa's done gotten real sick. That's why I went out, to find some more of that water.
I hate saying it, but it's true. See these mud pots lying around? Normally they're bubbling to the brim with mineral water, but just a few weeks ago, they dried up to nothing.
And now we got the
But
drama.
that still don't excuse you from putting yourself in danger like that. I may not be able to help your father, but I sure as heck ain't gonna lose you too.
Mama.
I wonder if those monster attacks on the surface could be related to your wells drying up.
Wasn't there something about
I
rivers
wouldn't
drying
be
up
all
on the surface
surprised.
too?
It's been a couple weeks since the water dried up, but every creature here is feeling the effects. I'll bet those creatures broke through to the surface looking for more water.
Mama, maybe these two can go talk to the lady.
The lady?
The lady?
You forgotten about
she's a
Ginger already?
Sweet old soul. Lives deep in the caves, makes the waters flow. She doesn't show herself around here too often, and we can't actually go see her on account of all the nasties living between here and there.
In that case, I'll go speak with this lady and see why she stops the flow of water.
You do that?
This can't all just be a coincidence. The attacks on the surface, your wells drying up. I'm certain this lady must know something about what's going on.
Well then, I had you folks pegged all wrong. If you aim to help my husband, I promise not to clock you with my wooden spoon of justice.
Thanks?
So, you're heading down to talk to the lady now? You'll help my pa?
We'll do our best, Bopo. Just don't go running off again.
You got my word.
And there we go, we got some new quest stuff. So, this is about where we're trying to wrap things up. But, do want to see at least a little bit of what's around the village. Besides, we can go check on the paw.
Pa's not looking so good.
He's sleeping peacefully. Let's leave him alone.
Even more egg-like than usual.
Anyway, let's see if we can find a save point around here somewhere.
Yeah, the map unfortunately doesn't seem to suggest that there is a save point in the town. And she's got quest stuff, the one you just passed, but...
But I
think
don't want
we'll
to start
wait
a
on
new quest right now. I want to find a save point.
And I was mentioning, is there anything we can pick up that'll make things a little easier before we leave? And I don't think that's so much the case. So I think with that, we're going to call it here. And maybe bumble around a little more.
Yeah, so we'll pick back up when we do find the save point, and hopefully we'll have the audio situation sorted out a little better next episode. Until then, have a good one, everybody.
Have a good one.